Ozempic is a miracle drug.
I don't think so. It's quietly becoming the next big health problem.
It's fixing diabetes, obesity, helping people with kidney problems. People don't have to struggle anymore. It's an easy and safe fix.
That's the problem. People will become dependent on it, and it's making them lose muscle more than actual fat. So it's no miracle. What do you think?
Well, miracle or not, people's answer depend on which corner of the internet they're standing in. So let's skip this hot take today and just go through it properly. What it actually is, how it works, what's good about it, what's genuinely bad, and where all of this is heading. Ozempic is the brand name for semaglutide made by the Danish company Novo Nordisk. It was approved for type 2 diabetes back in 2017. Its higher dose sibling, Wegovy, got approved for weight loss in 2021, and that's the one that actually broke the internet. It belongs to a drug class called GLP-1 receptor agonist. By late 2025, these drugs were considered important enough that WHO added GLP-1s to its essential medicine list and issued formal global guidelines for using them to treat obesity. GLP-1 isn't just some synthetic invention. It's your hormone your gut already makes every time you eat. It tells your pancreas to release insulin, slow down digestion so food sits in your stomach longer, and sends "you are full" signal to your brain. The catch is your natural GLP-1 breaks down in about 2 minutes. That's why semaglutide and tirzepatide are engineered to survive in your bloodstream for up to a week instead. So instead of a fullness feeling that fires briefly after a meal, you get one constant low background hum of you are satisfied 24/7. That's the entire mechanism. It's not a fat burning or appetite erasing witchcraft. It's your own hormone turned up and stretched out. And the results are genuinely strong, backed by large randomized trials. In the pivotal STEP trial, people lost 15 to 20% of their body weight over about a year, number that used to require bariatric surgery. But the more interesting data is in the number on the scale. It's the SELECT trial, a study of over 17,600 people with obesity and existing heart disease, published in the New England Journal of Medicine in 2023. It found that semaglutide cut major cardiovascular events, heart attacks, strokes, and cardiovascular death by 20% in people who didn't even have diabetes. A follow-up analysis in Nature Medicine in 2024 found it also protected kidney function, lowering the risk of serious kidney decline by 22%. Separately, tirzepatide trials showed roughly a 2/3 reduction in progression to type 2 diabetes in high-risk patients. There's also early but real research suggesting GLP-1 drugs blunt craving for alcohol, nicotine, and other addictive substances, with large trials that are still underway. But there are some real risks as well. Common side effects include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and constipation. These affects many users, especially early on, and they are unpleasant but usually manageable. The more serious stuff is pancreatitis, gallbladder disease, and severe gastroparesis, where the stomach stops emptying properly, which happens in well under 5% of users. Sudden vision loss from a condition called NION is rare but possible. A more serious and real side effect is that up to 40% of weight loss can be muscle, not fat, which matters far more at 60 than 25. And once you stop the injections, your biology remembers the old you. Most people regain about 2/3 of the weight within a year. This isn't a detox. It's more like a subscription, and results reverse the moment you stop paying. But still, the future is huge for Ozempic, and this category is moving fast. In December 2025, the FDA approved an oral version of Wegovy, a pill, not a needle. Beyond that, we are watching a genuine efficacy arm race. Semaglutide started this category around 15% average weight loss. Tirzepatide pushed it past 20%. Eli Lilly's retatrutide, a triple agonist hitting 3 different hormone receptors at once, has shown close to 28% weight loss in phase 3 trials, approaching surgical results with FDA review expected soon. Now, let's bring this whole conversation home. Because India has its own Ozempic story and it's moving fast. Obviously, no Indian Ozempic story is complete without Bollywood names because that's how most of us heard about the drug first. Karan Johar's dramatically slimmer look at Kapil Sharma's show set off a national guessing game. He's denied using it, crediting diet and lifestyle, but we still have some raised eyebrows. Ram Kapoor, Kusha Kapila, Boni Kapoor, Badshah, and Kapil Sharma himself have all faced the "is it Ozempic" speculation without confirming it. But the real people of India have a different story. Indians are especially prone to what's called a skinny fat. Even at the same BMI as someone from a European country, Indian bodies tend to carry more fat and less muscle around vital organs. Something researchers link to generation of undernutrition going back to the colonial era, famine and malnutrition quite literally written into how our bodies store fat. On top of that, we have a diet that's roughly 80% carbs, sugar in everything, and increasingly sedentary lifestyle. And because of this, we have the largest diabetic population on earth. Over 100 million people, alongside raising obesity and heart attacks now showing up in people in their 30s and 40s. India is basically the target demographic for a drug like this. But for quite some time, Ozempic here basically meant suitcases and grey market shipments. That changed only recently. CDSCO approved it in September 2025 and Novo Nordisk officially launched it on December 12, 2025. Starting around 8,800 a month, prescription only, not covered by insurance. Now, people from South Bombay and Delhi can easily use these injections to drop a few kilos. But diabetics in smaller towns who genuinely need the drug struggle to afford basic insulin. But there is some spice in the story too. Semaglutide's patent expired here in March 2026 and Indian drug makers didn't wait a day. Sun Pharma launched a generic injection for about $750 a week and 80% discount overnight. Natco Pharma went even lower, near $1,290 a month. Dr. Reddy's Cipla and Lupin jumped in too, forcing Novo to launch cheaper second brands of its own to defend its turf. But why does India matter this much? India is also called the world's pharmacy, supplying about a fifth of the planet's off-patent medicine. So when patents fail here, prices can shift globally, not just locally. Let's understand where it's heading. Cheaper generic. An oral pill likely coming here next. And a market this competitive usually means falling prices. Either genuinely good news for a country carrying this much diabetes and obesity, or a whole new problem depending on who ends up steering the ship, doctors or influencers. If you learned something new today, share it with others. Also, don't forget to drop your questions in the comments and I'll see you in the next one.